Good morning. Today is first day of February, and I already have a day that I didn't expect. I was expecting a pleasant day. It's not that cold out, but the trees are making this deceptive. If you got out in an open area, the fog is so thick you can barely see out into it. So droning is off the agenda today. Fog and drones don't mix, so they're grounded. So we're going to be doing some experiments in moose calling and some other stuff today, a little bit different, and kind of adapting to a day that we didn't expect to have. So, kind of an otherworldly, foggy kind of day, and changing gears unexpectedly. So, we're gonna hit it. We'll see what we do, and maybe we call in a moose or something. Other than that, not sure what to tell you. Okay, so these are the conditions we have today. This is probably not really doing justice to the level of fog today, but the drone, or maybe it does, we'll just give it a quick pan. But for those of you that are not drone savvy, drones, notably their positioning sensor and fog do not get along. They open up the door for all kinds of navigational shenanigans that I don't want to deal with today because there are other things to do. Not to mention, I drove by an open pond, and the woods, the tree cover is actually breaking up the fog more than it was. On the pond, you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. So if I put a drone in the air and nothing does go wrong, you literally are going to see nothing but gray, and there's no point to that. So that portion of my day has been replanned for me based on just that. The nature of the day is just not going to play ball with that notion. So we are in an adjustment mode, and I guess what we're going to do is go through here. We got like patchy snow. Apparently down further south in the state we got light rain. They apparently got a dusting overnight, so we are going to go in, look for sign, and the form the day has chosen to take is not what was expected, because otherwise there's no wind at all, so it'd be a perfect droning day, but the fog has decided otherwise, and not a lot you can do about that. If you saw the beginning of last week's video, you saw how thick the fog can be, and it's probably at least that thick and lower to the ground today, so a lot more counterproductive. Also, something made tracks here, hold on. Sure, we're going to follow these tracks. I am going to kibosh the video segment for a bit while I kind of determine what I'm tracking here. But I have to free my hands up for other things. But in that regard, they're fairly sizable. I'm wondering if this is the first set of moose tracks I've seen in a while, which would be ironic timing. But we're going to take a break real quick. I just wanted to give that check-in, and with any luck, the woods will provide more activity than it has lately. It's been kind of quiet in here lately, so with any luck, we can stir things up with a. Basically, I'm hoping it's a moose because I have my new moose caller with me, and trying it out would be fun. So we're going to do that first, and if it's interesting to film or we get a response, we'll get the camera back out. But for now, we're going to take a break. Series of moose grunts and moans that the thing is, the tracks that I was following do look like moose tracks. I don't know how old they are, but we have an opportunity to try to call in a moose and see if that works, and kind of a proof of concept kind of exercise. But of course it came through and I didn't have my cameras out, which is usually going to be the case. For such a large animal, they're annoyingly elusive, but it is what it is, I guess. But kind of coming to the backside of a logged area on the high meadow. and looking for telltale moose plop signs too, but I'm not seeing them. The forest is about to get a wee bit thicker. So we're in here, the fog. Yeah, I'm seeing deer. Seeing sign of deer. I'm not seeing moose sign beyond the tracks. Could have just been passing through, but still an interesting exercise, something different to do, considering that the sky has been denied me today, so we'll do this instead. And I don't really see the harm in doing both at the same time and multitasking. I don't want to occupy the entire video, but I'm curious if I can call something in. If not, no harm done. But I'll do that periodically to see if we run into anything interesting in the way of bullwinkle. And it's all predicated on the fact that he may or may not be in a moose, and I say he, but a moose is in the area at all or not. If not, then you got to be in the right place in the right time too, obviously. But we kind of doing this randomly first time out. And I am by no means a moose calling expert. I'm kind of winging this for those that are going to jump in comments and tell me I'm doing it wrong. If you are, then please advise the right way, but otherwise, we kind of making it up as we go. And we've lost the tracks, so there's no hard indication that anything came through here. We're just kind of out here because you got more snow, so we can pick up on other tracks that might be here. God forbid a squatch came through or something, but that's been quiet, truth be told. So we are contemplating a return north in the next week or so to check things out up there, since it seems quiet here, or changing the general location to another to make for sounds and all that, but we shall see. The messed up thing is, I think I heard something off to the left. I don't know if it's what I'm trying to walk and drive in, but that'd be interesting. But like over in that direction, I heard something. Could have just been rattling a leaf. But the nice thing is there's no wind today, so leaf rattling background noise is almost nil. Just me yapping and crunching. So the backstory on the callers is I got two new ones that I have on me right now. The moose one was of interest because if I can call on a moose, it'd just be cool, because the other one's got different animals in there, and that's like coyotes, deer, the horrific sound of a freaking jackrabbit. That's basically a wounded jackrabbit. Sounds terrible, it really does. But we're gonna See what the other one does, if we can go. I think we have, try, what are we set on? Raccoon. I'm not feeling raccoon. We'll do turkey. So this will be calling in turkey if they're about. Oh. And just having said that, I'll be curious if I just get comments from like would-be hunters telling me I'm doing things wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. Again, I am not an expert in this, and I am winging it, so if I am doing it wrong, rather than chew me out for being stupid, tell me what I did wrong. That would be all I ask. Noisy forest today. And obviously today's a little bit of a lighter video. I'm just kind of fooling around with these to see what they do. So this one's got moose too. Let's see what the moose does. So we'll focus on the observation part now. Only because I have to kind of mind the terrain a little bit too. But I'm debating whether to do the coyote ones, because if you call them in and there's a bunch of them, I don't know if that would be dicey or not. I mean, daytime probably not a big deal, but you never know. That is, hold on. That is probably deer pellets. If not, if that is moose pellets and it's a younger moose, that's interesting. But If we do have one in the neighborhood, maybe I'll just focus on that today, because you actually have an opportunity to see if it works or not. But as for squash, like I said, I don't think that... I've been watching the temperatures in Vermont. They're really not that much more cold than it is down here, so I'm not totally convinced that the conditions are right for them to be down here. And the timing might not be, it might be a little early too. They usually would be showing sign in later winter, getting into the end of March and the like, or just starting February. So there's a lot of poo in here though, deer poo and the like. So I'm gonna do another call. For structure folk, I don't personally think this is much of anything, but we'll take a look just to let you guys have your conjecture at whatever the hell this is. It looks like it could have fallen from up there. That's my take on it, but as with all things, you never know. We're going to continue a little further down the ledge. Got some tracks here too, or digging or something. So what we're going to do is take a short break while we kind of make our way down that way, and we'll keep our eyes and ears open for anything that got called in, if anything did. If there's nothing around, then that's life in the big city. But we're going to continue on our way. Okay, so we're in a different stretch of forest. A little cautionary tale, however. Happens to the best of us, but when you don't pay attention to your navigation and where you're going, you end up getting off course. I'm not going to call what happened to me getting lost, because I know the area well enough. I know that if I get turned around or take a direction that I didn't expect to, I'm going to inevitably pop out on the logging road that goes through and forms a T. So if you head to the west, you will eventually pop out, not necessarily where you expected to, but you'll get there. It just takes you longer. So that happens to the best of us, because I have hiked these woods a lot, so I know them a lot. But I quickly tuned into the fact that the alleged way back was suddenly a lot more uphill than I had remembered. When we started out, at least it seemed to me at the time that it was flat, or flatter, whereas this was starting to get a lot more hilly. So you just get that sinking feeling of, I don't think we are where you think you are. And sure enough, following that rule, I walked for a ways and I popped out I was starting to wonder where the heck I was. I was hoping I hadn't gone in the other direction, because you'll pop out on a hiking trail in Massachusetts, which you'll hit eventually, but that's probably a good scramble of, I don't know, 2 or 3 miles. And if you start going in circles in there, that's going to be the difference between you sleeping in here tonight or not. Not a survival situation, but an embarrassing case of getting lost nonetheless. So, lesson learned, and you're not too much of a badass to bring a compass with you, because that probably would have told me the same thing. But I just, knowing the terrain in that particular neighborhood was the giveaway that it just quote unquote didn't look right. And like, I don't remember it being this hilly. I don't think you're in the same neighborhood as you think you are. No obvious response to animal calls, so I'm starting to feel the abrasion. I hope it wasn't on my shin. I got clocked by a low-hanging branch. I can feel it now. And right there, that hurt. It's like one of those shin raking things. That stings like really nobody's business. So yeah, I mean, right now, if I were to take a wrong turn and head to the left, I'd come up on land trust signs, since that's the way I'm headed. But I'd also pop out near the trailhead, so I'm actually heading towards the car, believe it or not. I'm just taking the scenic route for the sake of woodsy banter. That's the platform, is that? No, it's just a big rock. I was wondering if that was a house foundation. There are a couple of old-timey house foundations that time forgot that nature reclaimed out here. But that's not one of them. The nearest one I'm aware of is back a ways further down the hill, down that way. Up and over the hill that way, to be accurate. But a compass would have avoided that. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, I'm going to do some more calling on